Did you know that 4 out of every 10 Nigerians are into betting? Did you know that these bettors cash out $5.5 million, not naira, $5.5 million every single day from Nigeria? Did you know that they make a total profit of over $2 billion? These are your 1 naira, your 5 naira of you, your brothers, your sisters, your fathers, your uncles, your aunties, everyone in Nigeria, and yet Nigeria is one of the poorest nations in the world. Don't you think you need to know the gambling, the betting habits of who you want to marry? Or you just want to get married to them and find out in the marriage that they bet, or you don't think that the habit of betting is worth knowing before you marry them? Don't you know that betting is not just a habit, it is an addiction, that someone can clear everything they have in their account just to bet? So, welcome to the last step of the 25 questions to ask your intended, your date before you marry them. You have treated the first 12, this is the last 13. My name is Lekemines Timothy, and I am your relationship coach. So, the first question to ask them is, are they into betting? If you bet, how much have you won? Okay, so I don't want to go into the effects of betting, but I'm just telling you deserve to know whether your partner, your intended gets, because the effects of betting will rub off on your marriage, it will rub off on your partner, and they deserve to know. Then the second question you need to ask them is about their financial risk. There are people who are risk aversive, they can't take risk at all, and there are people who are open to taking risk. So you need to ask them, do they take risks? There are people who save a lot of money and they leave it in their bank accounts, and they had better leave it there than invest it into something that will keep yielding returns for them. So you need to know, because these habits will affect you in marriage, and you deserve to ask them, and they also deserve to know about it. But remember that what we're talking about here is not just you asking them, it's also you letting them know. Because if your date, if your spouse is not here watching this video, you need to share this video and let them know. You take these things and you begin to dissect it together, you watch the video together, and you ask yourself these questions and give yourself clean, simple, direct answers. So apart from their risk quotient to finance, the next question you need to ask them is, do they have financial dependence? So you don't get married and then you find out that they are paying school fees, they are paying house rent, they are sending feeding allowance to this person, and they may tell you, okay, I make 1 million naira per month, but that 1 million naira doesn't belong to only them. So you need to know, do they have financial dependence? You deserve to know, and your intended also deserves to know if you have financial dependence. Then the fourth question you need to ask them is this: do they have financial regrets? Because if they have financial regrets, it has actually nurtured and shaped their habits. So there may be things that may come up even while you're dating or in marriage, and you're wondering, why is this person behaving like this? I always use the case of debt. If someone went into debt that they found it difficult to pay, they may not want to go or take another loan, maybe for a cogent reason. Because of course, if you have a business you need to scale, you may need to take a loan. You don't take a loan to start a new business, but you may take a loan to scale a business, and you see them bleeding, you see them saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, so that you can be able to trace where it is coming from. Okay, then the fifth question you need to ask them is, where do they see themselves in the next 10 years? Their financial goals. Okay, so the financial goal in this sense is in the next 10 years, or probably in the next 5 years. I like to plan in decades, because it helps me to have sustainable goals. In 5 years you can graduate, like get your BSc. In 5 years you can get your masters and your PhD. In 5 years you can do a lot. In 5 years you can change your life. Don't worry, in 10 years, right? So these are things that you may not be able to do in 3 months, in 1 year. So I like to have an extended view of my life, probably indicates, and you need to ask them to see if what they see of themselves and how they are working towards, or what they are working towards in their life. Then the seventh question is financial goals. Yes, there are people who don't have financial goals, or there are people whose financial goals are just based on liabilities, going on vacations, buying the toys and all that. Those are good, but your financial goals should be geared towards acquiring assets that can fund the liabilities. Because if they tell you their financial goals and you look at it, it's all liabilities, you know, oh, there is work to do here. I need to begin to change this, to change that, and begin to tilt these financial goals to assets so that we can now have to be so that we can have the liabilities that we want. All right. Then the seventh question you need to ask them is, how much do you intend to give to charity? All right. Life is not about grabbing, 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 and everything you make you eat. So you need to also have a budget for charity, no matter how small. And both of you need to decide. Is something you need to decide before you get married. Okay, this part is what will give. In Christianity, they have something called tithe. Is a structured way of giving to charity. So if you're not a Christian, you're a Muslim, or any religion you practice, you need to also decide there has to be something that goes out of you to humanity. All right. So the eighth question you need to ask them before you marry them is, are we going to go on vacation? Yes, marriage is a whole lot of work. That if you don't plan your vacations before you enter, before you even realize that we've not even taken time to relax, it will be probably 5 years, 10 years has gone. But you can actually plan it and start doing it, practicing it from the first year. And vacationing is something you need to start doing. Sometimes just take out time, all right, and go and relax. We do it, though we don't just vacation, we do it probably to travel out of our city and go for seminars, attend a lot of conferences and all that. But we merge the two, we do it, and it's important that you take out time to rest from your marriage, and it requires funds. That's why you need to plan ahead of it. Then the next question you need to ask them, how do you create, or how will you create passive income for your family, so that what you will have, your source of income, like having like several streams of income apart from what you're doing. Okay, so maybe you're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, or you're a 9 to 5. So apart from these things that you do, what other streams of income are you going to create? Like I told you, we already planned for our wedding. Okay, we didn't just plan for our wedding, we did a lot of plan for our marriage. And one of the things we worked on is on having different streams of income for our marriage. So we were busy, we planned more for our marriage more than we planned for our wedding. All right. So you need to ask them of this. Then the 10th question you need to ask them, how much do they need to live comfortably? Yes. What? How much do they need to live comfortably? Which side of the city do they want to live? Because some of us, they will say, I want to do this. I want to live in Asokoro. I want to live in Lekki. I want to do that. That's okay. All right. So that you don't get married and you're now trying to decide what part of town, which city do we live in. Agree on this, okay, before you marry. After you would have agreed that this is the part of town or the city you want to live and start your family, ask yourself, the income that both of you have, will it be able to fund this lifestyle? Will it be able? So you don't tell me, I want to live in a circle, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's okay, all right. But the funds that we have, will we be able to fund this lifestyle? And then the 12th question you need to ask them is, do they have emergency funds? What are emergency funds? Emergency funds are funds that you you have somewhere a minimum of 3 months, that if you're not able to make money, you're able to take care of yourself. So for example, if 100,000 is enough for you per month, so you need to have a minimum of 300,000 somewhere that will aid your work. All right, that will aid you, that even if you don't make money, it will suit you. The last question you need to ask them is, how do you take care of your parents? in-laws, it's important that you ask them this question: how would you take care of them? Are you going to send them money every month? Are you going to wait until they ask? You came from my home, I came from my home, and when we're coming together, but we are likely to have responsibilities. Have we even gotten to the point to carry these responsibilities, or are we going to tell them to leave us alone until we build financial stability to a point? So these are the questions you need to ask. They are 25 in total. We had handled the first 12, and this is the last 13. So sit down with them, ask yourself these questions, profile solutions to it. That's cause 3 is how to wed without debt. So if this helped you, ask your questions in the comments, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share with your friends and your relatives. I love you. My name is Nakeminas Timothy, and I am your relationship coach. Stay tuned until the next course will be uploaded. Bye.